Hey everybody, and welcome to this special on the Beaver full moon that happens in November, and this is happening on the 27th of November whilst the moon is in Taurus at 9:17 a.m. GMT time. All times are in GMT, and it's based on Vedic constellational astrology, which is based on where the sun and the moon and the planets like Mercury and Venus are at any given time in the constellations. So yeah, typically if something's in, say, Libra in Western astrology, then that planet, or if it's the sun and the moon, will be in Virgo in Vedic astrology. That's just a general sort of like rule. So the full Beaver Moon has held significance in various cultures and traditions around the world, although it is said that the name originated from Native American folklore, particularly the Algonquin tribes, who associated November's full moon with beavers building their winter dams. During this time, beavers worked tirelessly to construct their larger stockpile of food for the approaching winter. Hence, the full moon of November came to be known as the Beaver Moon. It serves as a reminder of nature's cycle and the importance of preparation for the colder months ahead. The Beaver full moon is also a symbol of hard work, resourcefulness, and the need for foresight. In addition to being associated with beavers, the November full moon also linked to the changing seasons and the natural rhythms of life. Many cultures view this time as an opportunity for reflection and preparation, and being more productive and efficient and more purposeful in your actions and your words. It marks a transition from the abundance of autumn to the scarcity of winter, depending on whether you're in the southern or northern hemispheres. So yeah, the full Beaver Moon reminds us to gather supplies and our resources and just check everything in our homes are efficient. We've got the right clothing and stuff for the colder months, so we can survive this time. As the sun moves through the 11th degree of Scorpio, this can represent a moment of crisis and potential salvation. We are reminded of the opportunity for transformation and rebirth during this moon phase as the moon goes through Taurus and the sun's in Scorpio. It's a time to let go of old patterns that no longer serve us and emerge stronger from the challenges that you may face during this time. This degree of Scorpio serves as a cautionary reminder to navigate our emotions with care, for they have the power to overwhelm us if left unchecked. And as the winter months are coming, some of us prefer the sun, so it could be overly emotional. So if you're more emotionally or psychologically or spiritually affected in the winter, just be gentle with yourself and make preparation so you can make yourself as comfortable as possible. So in astrology, the moon represents our emotions and inner world. So while Taurus symbolises stability and material possessions, as the moon reaches its fullest phase in Taurus, it amplifies these energies, urging us to find a balance between being practical and seeking sort of psychological, emotional and spiritual fulfillment. Practically speaking, this full moon encourages us to assess our resources, as I said earlier, and make steady progress towards our goals. So whether it's been any project, creative, writing that book, writing that essay, starting that blog, starting that side hustle, whatever you've been putting off, this moon reminds us that with slow and daily action we can get to our goal eventually if we keep on getting up after each failure, emphasising the importance of remaining grounded and building a solid foundation for your success. So learning to manage your emotional, psychological and spiritual worlds, and by healing your traumas, unresolved emotions, heartbreaks, and letting go of your past and forgiving you for not being the best you can at certain points in your life, or just accepting who you are now. And it's not something that comes overnight, especially when you've spent all of your life not liking yourself and stuff. And I can really emphasise with that, I've been through my own struggles and it can be really hard, but I can vouch if we just keep on going, then we can get to a more stable place within ourselves where we can accept ourselves in every any given moment, even though we may not be doing the things that we like. And this is not to say, forgive ourselves or, being out of order and, saying nasty stuff and doing unpredictable stuff and stuff like that. It just means that we just make sure that we always have compassion and love for ourselves while we do these things, so we can get out of our negative cycles or behaviour or addictive patterns, whether that be of indulging in toxic relationship, drugs, drink and alcohol and stuff like that as well. So it's also time to evaluate our material possessions. We may want to give things to charity or get more stuff, and also our finances. We can set a budget and just making sure that all of our material and financial goals are in line with our long-term aspirations, and making sure we're making plans and strategies. 3-year plan, 1-year plan, checking in on it often, and just maybe doing a daily task record. Especially if you're like me, you can be a bit spontaneous. Sometimes it's good to try and stick and do some things by routine. I've learned that you get things done quicker, but spontaneous reality is always good, and also, but yeah, this lunar phase wants us to take more practical steps towards creating stability and security in our lives overall. From a spiritual esoteric perspective, the full Beaver Moon in Taurus offers an opportunity for deep introspection and a connection to the Earth's energy. Because Taurus is an earth sign associated with sensuality and grounding, making this a powerful time to reconnect with nature and seek spiritual guidance. It invites us to tune into our intuition, exploring the hidden depths of our emotions and desires. So now I'm going to talk about how the following aspects positively and negatively affect the full Beaver Moon in Taurus on the 27th of November. So firstly, we have the Sun making a semi-square with Venus at a 1.27 separating orb. So this suggests that there can be a clash between our desires, represented by Venus, and our personal expression, represented by the Sun. But while it can bring up some tension or challenges, it also gives us a chance to reassess our values and find a balance in between expressing ourselves authentically and meeting the needs of others as well, and also being in alignment with our authentic beliefs and values. The Moon's opposition to Mars, which is 1.57 degrees applying, so this represents a push and pull dynamic between our emotions, represented by the Moon, and our actions, Mars. So with the Sun being in Scorpio, this energy intensifies emotions, and this can lead to potential conflicts or power struggles. But on the positive side, it presents an opportunity for self-awareness and gives us the courage to confront challenges head-on. The Sun also makes a conjunction to Mars at a 2:38 separating orb, so this is another aspect that can affect us heavily. So again, the Sun's involved in this, so energy of the Sun with the assertiveness of Mars can make us feel more ambitious, give us stronger drive and more determined to pursue our goals. So supports, doing what the Beaver Moon calls for us to do, which is prepare for the coming winter months. But it can also make us more impulsive, make us act without considering the consequences, and this can be, really, really bad in the worst case scenarios. But on the positive side, the best use of this energy is to channel our passions and energy in a constructive way, and staying mindful of any potential conflicts, of doing exercising, working towards your long-term goals, preparing for the winter, etc. Also, the Moon makes a square to Saturn, which is a 1.806 applying orb. So again, this causes tension between our emotions, represented by the Moon, and our responsibilities, represented by Saturn. So it may bring feelings of frustration or restriction, but it also offers us the opportunity for growth and self-discipline as well. By acknowledging our emotional needs while maintaining a sense of responsibility, we can find a balance and create solid foundations for our emotional well-being and our spiritual and psychological well-being as well. Also, the Sun's making a square to Uranus at a 1.39 degree orb separating. So again, this is more clashing between our individuality, self-expression, the Sun, and the need for freedom and change, which is represented by Uranus. So this can cause unexpected events or disruptions in our lives, challenging us to adapt and embrace new perspectives. While it can be settling, it can also encourage us to break free from, stagnant patterns and explore new and innovative approaches. The Moon's trine to Pluto also, that has an orb of 1.26 degrees separating, adds more depth and intensity to the full Beaver Moon. It can give us more emotional strength and resilience, allowing us to tap into our subconscious and uncover transformative insights. It can empower us to release old patterns that no longer serve us and embrace positive change. The energy of Pluto can help us, go through powerful psychological, spiritual and emotional transformations that can, leave us feeling empowered and more renewed coming in the spring, summertime and stuff, but also keep us going through the winter as well. The Moon semi-square to Chiron, that has a 1 degree plane orb as well, shows us that again, it brings some challenges to healing and our emotional wounds and psychological trauma. It backs up that, a lot of us may have past hurts and vulnerabilities, present or current ones, brought to our attention, whether it's through thoughts or experiences, and this can create a sense of discomfort and sensitivity. So it's a time where we may need to confront some powerful emotions and address unresolved issues. However, this energy gives us an opportunity for growth and healing. By acknowledging our wounds and taking steps to heal them, we can emerge stronger and be more resilient. Although it may require some inner work and self-reflection, but the potential for healing and transformation is present if we're prepared to do the day-to-day healing and taking the steps towards making our dreams a reality by taking practical action as well, learning to just have more compassion for ourselves as we navigate our inner and external challenges as well, and just give ourselves more forgiveness, understanding, nurturing and self-management as well. Also, at the time of the full Beaver Moon in Taurus, there's going to be a T-square between the Sun, Moon, Mars and Saturn that has an orb tightness of 21% as well. So now I'm just going to talk about the positive and negatives of this. So in astrology, a T-square causes friction because two planets form a square, and then the third planet or more points and stuff can form opposition to the two squaring planets, and this can intensify the energy of the square, and this is why it's called a T-square. So yeah, a T-square can create a dynamic and potent energy that often signifies or supports a time of transformation. It can indicate a period in which you may encounter obstacles or face internal conflicts, but also presents an opportunity for personal development and through breakthroughs, because the T-square, as does life's negative experiences, can be used to prompt us to confront issues that we run away from and related to the planets involved in the T-square, pushing us to find creative solutions and make necessary changes to achieve balance and harmony. It can highlight areas of life where you feel stuck or challenged, urging you, pushing you to take action and find a resolution. While the T-square can bring about discomfort and uncertainty, it ultimately offers immense growth and self-discovery potential. So yeah, the involvement of the Sun in this T-square that happens at the time of the full Beaver Moon in Taurus on the 27th of November. The Sun signifies vital energy and self-expression, while the Moon brings emotions and intuition. Mars, brings the passion, courage and assertiveness, and Saturn offers the discipline, responsibility, accountability and wisdom as an order and structure as well. So these combined energies can empower you to confront challenges head on, so you may find yourself more motivated to take action and make the necessary changes in your lives. The T-square's tight orb indicates a strong influence, amplifying the intensity of this energy. But on the negative end, Mars's presence can, add to the conflicts I've already mentioned and add to the impulsive behaviour as well. So just make sure you watch out for that, walk away if you can, and just try and be more understanding with yourself and others at this time, and seek to find middle ground rather than be aggressive verbally or physically and just let things get out of hand. Saturn's influence can bring feelings of restriction, limitation, also a need to just think before you react or act to things as well. Also watch out for emotional coldness in yourself and others as well. So just try and give yourself and others some empathy, some understanding, some space, some time, some attention. It's best to channel Marge's assertiveness into productive activities and maintain a balance between passion and aggression. Saturn's influence calls for responsible decision making and a disciplined approach to overcoming any potential obstacles that can come up right now. So now I'm going to talk about how the Moon's conjunction to the fixed star Astrology, or Alsa 1, which has the tagline of mystical but judgmental influences the Beaver Moon. So Alsa is one of the brightest stars in the Pleiades star cluster and holds a special place in mythology and astrology alike. Its presence during the Beaver Moon signifies an infusion of mysticism and discernment, of thinking before you do things, checking facts before believing or repeating them as truth. Under the influence of Alsa, the Beaver Moon in Taurus may also and supports, as I said before, that we will have access to at least a higher, deeper sense of spirituality and intuition. We may find ourselves more naturally drawn to mystical practices and seek deeper meaning in our experiences. However, it's important to know that Alsa and us humans can be known for our judgmental nature. So during this time, we may feel the increased inclination to evaluate situations and people more critically. This could be a time of deep self-reflection and introspection as we navigate through life choices with a discerning eye. The combination of mysticism and judgment creates an intriguing blend of energies during the full Beaver Moon. It invites us to explore the hidden depths of our subconscious and confront any biases or preconceptions, negative judgmental ones that we may hold about ourselves and others. It encourages us to trust our instincts and make decisions based on our own inner knowing rather than solely relying on external factors. The influence of Alsa during this full moon in Taurus also emphasises the importance of finding a balance between the material and spiritual realms. It reminds us that while we navigate the physical world, we should not neglect our spiritual growth and the connection to the divine or higher power or God or whatever you call, the presence, the universe. So yeah. So now I'm going to talk about the meanings and how the following Sabian degrees positively and negatively affect the full Beaver Moon. So starting with the Moon, which is in the 6th degree of Taurus and rules the larynx and the human body. The Sabian symbol for this degree is a bridge being built across the gorge. So this symbolises the potential for building gaps and creating connections. The positive aspect of this degree suggests that during the full Beaver Moon, there's an opportunity for open communication and healing in relationships. It signifies a time for building bridges of understanding and finding common ground, as I said earlier. This can positively affect personal interactions, helping us express ourselves more effectively and resolve conflicts. On the flip side, the negative aspect of this degree warns us of the challenges that may come up when trying to build these gaps while trying to repair the conflicts in our relationships. It cautions us against rushing into reconciliation or forcing connections that are not meant to be. It reminds us to take a practical approach during this full moon and over the coming 3 to 4 weeks after it, to have more patience and discernment, and showing that any bridges that we build with others and repair with others, relationships that we repair, are strong and sturdy and healthy and not toxic. The Sun is in the 11th degree of Scorpio and rules the male genitalia and labia majora in the human body. The Sabian symbol for this degree is the drowning man rescued, so this symbolises a moment of crisis and the potential for salvation. In a positive light, this degree suggests that there is an opportunity for transformation and rebirth during and over the full Beaver Moon period of about 4 weeks. It signifies a time to release old patterns and emerge stronger from challenging situations. On the negative side, it warns us of the dangers of becoming overwhelmed by emotional turmoil, because, as I said earlier, it's a lot of aspects are bringing up, buried emotional, psychological and spiritual wounds as well. So it's important to tread carefully during this moon phase, as intense emotions may surface that threaten to drown us. It reminds us to seek out support and reach out and give help when needed as well, rather than try and navigate these waters alone. Or if you feel strong enough, just to make sure you have some fun as well, or just be gentle with yourself, loving with yourself. Yes, we've all made mistakes. If we could all do life again, the majority of us would want to do a lot of it again, but we can't. All we can do is change our future. So we have to try and move in and move on and dig deep into the influence of the full Beaver Moon's energy as well. And it's important to remember at this time that communication with yourself and others, and emotional well-being and psychological and spiritual well-being go hand in hand. So just as the bridge being built across the gorge symbolises a connection and understanding, the drowning man being rescued reminds us of the potential for transformation and healing, especially self-healing and forgiveness and understanding as well, and love. During this time, take the opportunity to engage in open conversations with loved ones, especially emotions and thoughts honestly, but also be mindful of how you communicate. The full Beaver Moon encourages us to build bridges of understanding and connection, but it reminds us to do so with patience and discernment. Rushing in, again, into reconciliation and forcing connections that are not meant to be can lead to the emotional, psychological and spiritual turmoil intensifying. So just remember that as well. Also, it can intensify the feeling of being overwhelmed. So instead, just take some time out to listen, emphasize, go away and think, and just allow for the resolution or the deeper understanding to emerge naturally. In addition to, developing healthy communication, the full Beaver Moon invites us to just reflect on our past life experiences and to move towards better days. So Mars is in the 8th degree of Scorpio at the time of this full Beaver Moon, and this represents the energy of transformation and intensity. It rules the left fallopian tube in the human body and has the Sabian symbology of the moon shining across the lake. So the moon shining across the lake suggests a reflection of emotions and a deeper sense of inner revelation. So this combination indicates that we may find ourselves experiencing a profound self-awakening, spiritual awakening as well during the full Beaver Moon. So the moon's reflection on the lake symbolises the potential for uncovering hidden feelings and gaining insights into your subconscious desires or even hidden talents you didn't know that you had. And finally, Saturn is in the 7th degree of Aquarius, which influences our well-being by controlling the right Cephenius veins in the human body. The Sabian symbol associated with the 7th degree of Aquarius is a child born of an egg cell, so this signifies a chance for new beginnings and a sense of rebirth over the coming winter months. This suggests that during the full Beaver Moon we may encounter a strong fresh start if we're willing to let go of our past. Just as a child emerging from an egg cell represents the beginning of a new life, this lunar event offers us the opportunity to shed our old patterns and embrace a new, renewed sense of self. Take this opportunity to evaluate any old patterns or habits that no longer serve you. Ask yourself things like, are there any negative emotions or limiting beliefs or toxic relationships that you can release or need to release? Embrace the transformative energy of this moon phase and allow yourself to emerge stronger over time and more resilient. As you navigate through these intense emotions that can come up, Remember to practice self-care and seek support when needed. This can include taking time out for yourself to recharge, engage in activities that bring you joy and peace and self-soothing and healthy self-love and understanding, forgiveness and management. And it's important to remember that you're not alone in your journey. Others may be experiencing similar emotions and challenges during this phase as well. So, if you feel up for it, if you can connect with others and share your experiences, you can create or strengthen a supportive network that can help you navigate these waters with a greater ease and sense of inner stability. So now I'm going to talk about the worldly, materialistic, astrological, mundane, political and social meanings of the full Beaver Moon. So from a worldly, materialistic viewpoint, the full Beaver Moon in Taurus signifies the time of abundance and practicality. It encourages us to focus on our financial goals and material possessions, prompting us to find stability and security in our resources. This moon phase invites us to nurture our sense of material abundance and make wise financial decisions. On a political level, the importance of stability and security in governments may come up quite strongly in the news or in our feeds and stuff. It calls for leaders to focus on practical policies that benefit society as a whole, and emphasising the need for responsible management of resources. This moon phase encourages politicians to prioritise long-term sustainability and their constituents, the people that they govern's well-being. From a social standpoint, the full Beaver Moon in Taurus reminds us to appreciate the value of patience, perseverance and hard work in our relationships. It encourages us to build strong trust and loyalty and reliability and solid foundations for our plans. So this means making sure that we have good habits that support our overall growth as well. This moon phase reminds us to be kind of like steadfast in our commitments and invest time and effort into nurturing our connections with others. So overall, the full Beaver Moon in Taurus on the 27th of November wants us to find harmony between our practical pursuits and activities and spiritual goals. It calls for a balance between material stability and emotional well-being and our spiritual and psychological stability as well, pushing us to assess our resources and make steady progress towards our goals. By connecting with the Earth's energy and tapping into our intuition, we can deepen our understanding of ourselves and align our actions with our true desires. This full moon offers a transformative opportunity to create a solid foundation for future success while nurturing our inner selves. So that was this special on the full Beaver Moon on the 27th of November. Take care and see you next time.